Right, guys, this is going to be my flow tier list right after my style tier list. Let's go. Emperor, the best flow in the game right now for straight shooting, right? One of the best flows in the game because it reduces your cooldowns, increases your speed, increases your shot power. This flow is probably the best flow for Igaguri, right? And other styles that require you to M1 shoot, right? Next we got Dragon Wings or Demon Wings or whatever. Yeah, this flow goes down to B tier. It used to be S and A, S tier and A tier when Shido was in the meta, but Shido sadly fell off with the new styles that came out recently. So wild card, better than Demon Wings, but it's just too RNG dependent, right? You could get speed, which is pretty good, but then you could also get stamina, which is trash, right? Along with you could also get L3, which is pretty good, but it's basically RNG dependent on whether you get 3 of them or 1 of them or 2 of them. Next you got Trap, pretty good flow for Nagi users though. I do think it's overrated though. I am going to put this in the bottom of A tier though. I do believe there are better flows for Nagi besides Trap because there's no point in having a cooldown reduction if you could only pop it for like 10 seconds. Your cooldown reduction is going to be 5 seconds then. Because most of the time people pop flow at 30%. Right? Same thing with Chameleon. Pretty much overrated. Like, probably one of the better flows for CMs though, and since it reduces all cooldowns, it is probably better than Trap. I would say that Chameleon, if you are using Aiku or if you are center middle and this is like your only choice or like one of your choices between another legendary, choose Chameleon. Prodigy, one of the best flows in the game for shooting. I used to hate on it, but now I learned how to use it. And in terms of shooting against Emperor, I do believe Prodigy has a higher shot potential than Emperor and a higher range potential if you use Rio. So if you use Rio with Igaguri and offensive mode, it's going to destroy a goalkeeper easily, right? It makes a shot look instant when you have Rio's offensive mode paired with Prodigy, along with Speedster. It's actually crazy. Dribbler used to be one of the best flows for shooting, but it fell off due to Emperor just being a better dribbler, right? It's still S tier, so if you have Dribbler, I don't think it's worth spinning for Emperor, right? So let's say you have lucky spins, you want to spin for a flow, you get Dribbler and you want to aim for Emperor, it's not worth it. The cooldown for Emperor is barely, cooldown reduction is barely noticeable, probably like 2 seconds. And the speed is the same, and the shot power is the same. So if you have Dribbler, just keep it, no need to go for Emperor. Awakened Genius, no, this is normal Genius. Probably the best flow in the game for GKs so they could support their team. That's why it's getting an S. 30% flow for your teammates, self-explanatory. Helps your team on the offense, especially as GK you don't want to be carrying the team on saves. Same thing with Awakened Genius. It has a 5% less flow gain for your team than compared to normal Genius, but it gives you 2 straight dribbles and a little more shot power, right? So if you're a Nagi, this is good for you. If you're a Kaiser, this is good for you, right? If you're NEL, it's also good for you. Any shooting style should probably have Awakened Genius because it makes you get to the goal easier with the 2 dribbles and it supports your teammates along with a little extra shot power if you need it. Let's see, what is this, bro? I'm not even sure what flow this is. Probably put it here. This is Flow Burst. This probably goes to C tier because unlike other shot power flows, the only time you get stronger shot power is if you're sprinting and then you shoot it, and the farther it is, the more shot power it is, right? Gale Burst, nothing too special about it. Snake, probably better than Trap. I'd rather use Snake than Trap because, well, Snake has like a 2-second tackle cooldown, and with that you could just transverse the field easily with tackle cooldown and also guard people more easier. Only downside with Snake is that it doesn't have anything special besides the tackle cooldown, but it's still better. King, probably one of the better epic styles there. I'll probably put it in A tier. It has equal or higher shot power to Awakened Genius, which is role class now. So this is Lightning. Lightning is pretty mid, but it is better than Gale Burst in my opinion because it is more consistent. You could just shoot and pop lightning, gives you shot power, whereas Gale Burst gives you shot power in longer ranges, which doesn't matter. Ice, I don't know what it does, it's pretty trash though. Crow, Crow is probably one of the better legendaries out there, actually, in my opinion. It's probably the best legendary right now because it has the highest shot power out of any legendary. It's basically a knockoff Dribbler and Emperor, but you can still put up some numbers with it if you're using Chigri, right? Puzzle, speed boost, makes you pretty good. It has the same speed as Prodigy when boosted, so that's a plus, but other than the speed boost, you're really not getting much out of it. So yeah, I'd rather use Gale Burst. No, I would rather use Lightning or Puzzle. Gale Burst. Gale Burst is still C. Now we have Soul Harvester. Honestly, it's probably one of the go-to styles for Nagis, especially those that like to header into trap, because you have 2 dribbles, which make it easier to get to the goal as a Nagi user. Especially as a Nagi user, you have no transversal moves, and then once you're at the goal, you have 5 headers, which makes your 4th one uninterceptable because you can header after that, right? So yeah, that's probably my tier list. If I were to put Soul, let me see. I am fine with Emperor being here. I'm fine with Prodigy being here. Dribbler, easy. If I were to choose positions for each styles, because I know some people are asking me, the best style for Emperor is obviously Chigri. Same with Dribbler. Prodigy, you could also use it with Chigri, right? But I just prefer Emperor because Prodigy, you really have to do a lot of thinking, like setting up the shot. You have to make sure your character is aligned, like straight, so you can do a straight Prodigy shot. Prodigy is more of like a Rio type style though. It works best with Rio. And when I mean Rio, I mean Chameleon the dude. Rio, like the style Rio. So yeah, just have Speedster with Prodigy and you're almost unstoppable. The only problem is that obviously you have to get Speedster by copying someone. And pair that with offensive, it's crazy. Dribbler, same thing. Chigri. Genius, Goalkeeper, or CM, depending on what your thing CM prefers. Same thing with Awakened Genius. Awakened Genius will be Nagi actually, and Nagi is also good with Soul Harvest.